So guys, I'm just doing a quick video here on keeping quail and things you need, and a few of my thoughts and reasons to keep them and reasons not to keep them. It's not massively long. I try to keep it as short as I can. Last 3 minutes, some eggs hatching anyway, and that's speeded up. But I'll get on with it. It's nice to be nice. If there is any questions, by the way, let me know and I'll answer them as best I can. I'm just going to do this little video. It might help people decide whether they do or don't want to keep quail. I'm going to take you through from this to this. I won't be doing any slaughter videos, I won't be doing any skinning videos or cleaning videos, but that's the result at the end of it, and I'll explain the reasons why. Should be hatching tonight. Don't know whether you can hear that. I think you can. So first, what I'll do is I'll go through what you need. Now the first thing you need is eggs, fertile eggs. Now, sounds obvious, doesn't it? I have seen people hatch supermarket eggs. I've tried here, they don't work here. So you need reliably fertile eggs. But of course you could always buy birds that are laying. But if you want to keep producing eggs, and possibly meat, fortunately and unfortunately, meat is a byproduct due to the amount of time these birds will lay. So you will need an incubator. This one cost me about $100 off the internet. It's a Chinese one. I can hatch 50 eggs in this at a time. I think it's 50, might be a bit more than 50. There were only 17 in this time. You're also going to need a brooder, a waterer. You can use little tubs for water, little plastic cartons, Tupperwares and things like that, and something to put food in. A brooder box. This has got a cover. This is what I use as a brooder box, and a lamp. I have used a normal lamp with an high wattage bulb in it. I've worked them for a long time and they always work, but last year I invested in a proper lamp, heat lamp. Food for chicks. I know people recommend feeding the quail this chick food all the time. I've found that they're quite wasteful with that chick food, and I feed my quail the real deal hen food like that. They have no problems with it, there's less waste, and when they've finished the food that's in the feeder, I leave them for half a day and let them scratch around and pick all bits up, which they do. Many of you have seen this. This is my quail run, yeah? You don't in any way need anything like that to keep quail. Yeah? That is how I started. I had 3 of them cages what I made. I'll go through a few things here. You imagine that cage there, in that space. I could have 6 of them cages or more in that space. And in each of them cages, I could keep 1 male and 5 females very comfortably, which would always give me fertile eggs. You could possibly keep 8 females that are laying in that one cage, and I would say you'd get 4 to 6 eggs a day. Yeah. So if you multiplied that by 6, that's the space, side of a garage, side of your shed, whatever. You could run a lot of birds. You could run, what, 36 birds in 6 cages, say? Yeah, at 6 a cage. So, and that'll get you a lot of eggs. They on average lay every other day, each bird. Now, if you're wanting them for eggs, then you've got to realise these birds will only live for 2 seasons. You won't get much more than 2 seasons out of them. Because I've got one in here that's 4 years old nearly, but it's not laying, it's unproductive. The other thing about hatching your own, you're going to get males, not just females. And if you want to be hatching your own, you need some males, but unfortunately you never know what you're going to get. Now I know for a fact I'll just go in and show you. I'm coming in. I know for a fact there's about 20 birds in here at the minute, and at least 7 of them are males. If you can see, the problem I've got now, these are getting overbred. This is a male here. See, he's got them brown cheek patches. Yeah, on my birds they're dead easy to tell. You can vent them as well. There's a lump here. You can vent them as well, but that's a male. Mine are dead easy to tell due to that. They've got them brown cheek patches. And females haven't got them. This is a female. Come here, girlie. See how she's got what? No brown on the side of her face. Yeah, and obviously she's got no hair, no feathers on her back where she's been bred. So last year, out of my birds, I must have had a heck of a lot of males. I've culled in the last 2 weeks 11 birds, and 8 of them were males. No, 9 were males, and there were 2 old females. One that had been pecked badly, and another old female. So I can take at least another 4 males out of here. But like I'm saying, if you're going to keep them for eggs, you're only going to get 2 seasons eggs out of these birds. Alright, if you're breeding them yourself, you're going to get a lot of males, which are excess. They fight each other, they will kill each other, they like cocks. That's what they are, you know. So they do fight. So you've got to be... The males you can't sell. I can't sell them here. I can't get rid of them in any way. I can't set them free. It's illegal. So, and if I did set them free, they just stand there. A cat or a fox or whatever's going to kill them straight away, just about. As to, like I say, cages, you can keep... Andy at McDowell Manor has got a good setup. He's got a stack of 3 cages. I don't like wire bottoms. I only use that cage in emergency. I know for a fact if I wanted to just breed them for, well, just for eggs and meat, you know, say just for eggs and meat, but if I got it and went into it full bore, I could put more than 100 birds in freezer a year, easily, providing I kept my flock healthy. The reason I ain't done an hatch this year, the reason I've been because my eggs have dropped off. I'm getting about 4 a day in here, and the main reason is because at least 7 of these birds are males out of, I think there's 19. That's an old lady, so she's not laying at all. She's one of the first of my original flock. So she's nearly, well, she's got to be 4 years old, so she's just eating, you know. Now, don't get me wrong, the great birds, if you get balance right, obviously, I mean, they always, even with one male, they look a little bit scraggy in breeding season. But you've got to realise that if you're going to keep them for pets and for eggs, you're only going to get 2 years out of eggs out of them. They might live for 4 years maximum if you're going to keep them for pets. But then you've got to, if you want to keep eggs coming, you've got to breed more birds. And by breeding more birds, you're going to end up with, you've got a 50-50 chance, haven't you, if it's a male or a female in the egg, let's say, 50-50 chance. So if half of them are males and half of them are females, your ideal balance is 4 to 5 females per male. Yeah? So it's something you want to look into if you want to go into, if you bought some birds for eggs and then said, okay, we've had the birds for 4 years, they've died, we've got no more, 2 years we've got no more eggs, 2 years you've got your pets, but that's either be as pets. If you want to keep the eggs coming, then you have to keep hatching eggs. If you're buying birds, like I said, that were layers, then a couple of cages like that with just hens in, you could probably put 8 hens in each one of them cages, you get good eggs for 2 years. Yeah? And then they're just pets. So I would think hard about getting them if you're wanting them. If you're thinking they're going to lay eggs like chickens for several years, I don't know how long a chicken will lay an egg for, but a lot longer than these. They're born with X amount of eggs, and that's what they'll lay in their lifetime. In the wild, I think it's said to live about 1.5 to 2 years anyway, due to predation or whatever. Yeah? So it's something you've got to consider. I thought I'd just do a video because I say I've had them for 4 years now, and I enjoy keeping them. I've only just started culling them this year because, again, I had too many males. The eggs had dropped off, and well, the meat's good. It's a pro anacon. If it's not something you're prepared to do, I wouldn't recommend you keeping quail. Yeah. If you're not prepared to slaughter your own birds and process them, then I wouldn't recommend quail. If you wanted to just keep some for eggs for the first 2 years and then pets, by all means do it. You only need a rabbit hutch sized thing like that to keep them. We enjoy the eggs. They're a lot healthier than chicken eggs. I know exactly what's gone into these, as in feed and everything. I know how they're kept. I mean, although they are looking a bit scraggy at the minute, they're kept well. They have a good life, you know. I have seen breeding cages and laying cages where they just hundreds of birds in a tiny space. There'd be like 20 or 30 birds in that sort of space, and all they do is lay eggs and lay eggs and lay eggs, and they have little racks on front and they pick their eggs out. They're kept on wire. As I say, if I were keeping them in these cages for long, I wouldn't put them on wire. That's my personal opinion. I would put a sliding bottom out like Andy has at McDowell Manor. I had a lot of that advice off, well, I spoke, when I started getting these, there were 3 people I spoke to who I know keep quail. That were Andy at McDowell Manor, Dale Calder, and Paul at Life in Thailand. He's got some good quail vids as well. I don't know, he keeps them. So, yeah, good lad. Now these birds now, I've got to decide which males I take. I've got 2 dark males, like him. I've got, oh, this is another male. You see his cheeks? Can you see his cheek? He's got that reddy cheek under his eye. That guy's got the chocolate face, that's the male. But I've got to decide which males I keep and which I don't. There's one that's almost white plumage, but it's cream plumage all over. I'm going to keep him for definite. I'll keep some of the dark males because I like the colour variation, and then I've got to take it. I think another 4 males out of this have got to go, at least. But as I said, the pros and cons. You definitely don't need this much space. You could keep 36, if you had 6 cages, you could keep 36 cages birds comfortably. If you went for just females in some cages and a mix of males and females in other cages, you could keep more birds, meaning you get more eggs, depending what you want to do. And we just eat them. I can't sell them here. It wouldn't be allowed. For too much complication with licenses and stuff like that. Same as I can't sell the meat, so I can only the ones that I cull I can only eat myself. I could give away to friends if they wanted to eat it, but that's the situation. I hope someone finds that helpful, especially if you're thinking about, you know, breeding these birds. And just another, you know, on him. I live in Switzerland, yeah. The other year we got minus 12 C. I lost no birds through the cold. You do need to have, if you've got a cage, a place where they can go, and they're out of wind and out of wet. You know, these cages were under the side of my garage before, so they were out of wind and out of wet. And while they were like that, you have no problems with temperatures, low temperatures. So that's not something you need to worry about.